All right, hello two triggers. Here's a little crash course video on polynomial factoring. So we have been given a few problems that look like this already. It says factor this giant polynomial that's an x to the fourth polynomial completely, given that we know this quadratic term, this x squared term, is a factor. So what that means is that we know that this thing right here, this x squared minus 3x plus 4, x squared minus 3x plus 4 times something else that we don't know is going to equal our gigantic polynomial. That is what we're trying to figure out. So we're going to use our area model just a little bit backwards in order to figure that out. Our area model looks like this. We make our gigantic rectangle, and our factors go along the outside. So our factors will go right here and right here. So our first factor that we're going to use is our x squared minus 3x plus 4, because that's the one that we already know. So we're going to set up our rectangle in this way. Again, I could put it the other way. It makes no difference. This is just the convention that I use. And then what we want to have happen is we want to make this big, gigantic polynomial. We are trying to construct that polynomial on the inside, in here, on my rectangle, in order to figure out what the other factor is that goes out here. That's the question that we're trying to answer right now. Oh, that was cool. Not what I wanted to have happen. So, in order to do that, we're going to start with our first term of our polynomial, our largest term. We're going to take care of that one first. So I want to put my x to the fourth term in the box right here. That is the one that I want to deal with first. And since this has to be x to the fourth here inside of this box, and we have an x squared outside, that means up above I also needed to have an x squared so that those two terms would multiply together to get me that x to the fourth. So then now that I have x squared up here, I'm just going to follow down along this way and figure out the columns. So now I would have x squared times negative 3x, so that's negative 3x to the third, and then I would have x squared times 4, so then I would have 4x squared. Great, so now my first column is done, and now I have the x to the fourth that I need. That is checked off. That part of my polynomial is done, and now I need to keep going. If I look, I actually already even have this negative 3x to the third part done from this part right here. So I'm doing really well so far with my polynomial division. The next bit that I need is I need to have 6x squared. Currently, I only have 4x squared, so that is the next thing that I'm going to do. I need 6x squared. I only have 4x squared, so I'm going to put 2 more x squareds in here to try to figure out what else I need as my other factor. So I'm going to go back to my gray. If I have 2x squared here inside of the box, and I know that I have multiplied something by x squared, that means up above my term was 2. Simply 2. So again, now I'm going to work my way down this polynomial, down this column of the area model. This 2 times the negative 3x squared ends up me with negative 6x. And then this 2 times this 4 gets me positive 8. So now I'm going to go through again with a new color and do another double check. Okay, well now I have, now I have my 2x squared plus my 4x squared, which gets me 6x squared. The next thing I need to have is 6x, negative 6x, which I've got. Awesome. And then I need positive 8, and I've got a positive 8. So I am good. What that means then is that I know that x squared plus 2 times x squared minus 3x plus 4 are the factors of this polynomial. Now, it says factor completely. So I'm going to go back and do one more double check, and double check that neither of these two factors that I found can factor any further. X squared plus 2, it looks similar to some of our difference of square polynomials, but it's not a difference. It's an addition, so we are done there, so this one's good. So now if I look in at x squared minus 3x plus 4, okay, let's start to make an attempt. So I'm going to do another little baby area model. This time I know that I want my first term to be x squared, and I want my last term to be 4. I know because of the diagonals of my area model that these two boxes that I'm looking for also need to be equal to when I multiply the other diagonal. So I know that my two terms need to multiply to get me 4x squared, and they need to add to get me that 3x that I'm looking for in my equation, in my factor. So now I'm trying to think of factors of things that will multiply to give me positive 4, but add to give me negative 3. Let's see. 4 has factors of 1 and 4, and factors of 2 and 2. Because I need this term to be positive, they either both need to be positive numbers or both be negative numbers, which means this does not work out. Nope, I'm done right here at this level. So what that tells me is the factors that I'm looking for of my polynomial are x squared plus 2 and x squared minus 3x plus 4. And we have now completely factored our gigantic polynomial. Hope this video was helpful. Good luck, 2 triggers.